Do walk with mirrors. And this isn't just to check your hair like I do in every reflection. What I mean by do walk with mirrors is to always look inward. If you don't have the ability, and again, this is a practice, to look inward, to be aware of your thinking, your thoughts, your actions, why you do what you do, where things come from, and this is not a one-time thing, this is a way of life, then you're never going to grow and expand, right? Usually people who don't walk with mirrors, who are not reflective and are able to question why they do what they do, why they think the way they think, and where things come from, then they are stunted, but also they kind of become like this walking reaction, right? There's no pause, there's no mental emotional speed bump for them to check themselves and say, hey, this is something that I don't like, that I want to improve. I want to change this, right? Because growth a lot of times is about breaking patterns. And if you don't have the ability to look inward, to see what's going on, not only in your mind, but the way that you are, the way that you think, etc., then you're going to be very two-dimensional. You're going to be, like I mentioned about the chasing and attracting, you're going to be more in a chasing state. You're going to have less friends. You're not going to be likable. To be less miserable, you have to constantly look inward. So ask yourself what that looks like. Are you always blaming and judging and focusing on the external, or do you sometimes look inward when there's turbulence or when stuff comes up and there's resistance? Do you look inward and ask yourself where that's coming from, and to actually make an effort to process that and to choose different? Because the more that you do that, the more that you will grow and expand. And as you go through your journey, because life is difficult and there's going to be a lot of triggers and a lot of turbulence, and that's never going to stop, but your ability to look inward and to discover and to learn about yourself and your wiring, and then choosing to take a different path, right? Choosing to do some things that may be uncomfortable, that is what's going to make you less miserable and more you maneuvering at your potential. So here's the work. Ask yourself what it looks like to look inward. Have you done that today? Have you done that in the last week or month? Is it time to do that? And if so, what does that look like? Are you examining your thoughts, your behavior, all the feels that come up and where they're coming from? The first step to self-betterment is to look inward.